struggle. This is the round 3 of Heat 2 of the World Championships. We are going to be watching Matt Bronson versus Craig Novak. This is going to be Matt piloting Kanan and General Solo, and Craig piloting Moff Gideon and Lando Calrissian. They're going to be playing on Never Tell Me the Odds. Let's go ahead and jump into the action. All right, and here we go. They have everybody out.
So they flipped what objectives? Oh, did they get the X? We call it?
It is the. It's got to be the X.
It has to be.
Yeah,
the X.
it is the
Oh,
X.
we called it. Nice. All right then.
So I mean, yeah, that does definitely help. Oh, Shatterpoint card right off of the rip.
I mean, dealer's choice when it comes to Matt.
He's gonna reserve it.
All right, fair enough.
He's gonna reserve it. So down to 5 force, right off of the rip there.
Yeah. Oof. But at least he pulled an Ezra, so he's sending out his secondary.
Yeah, the problem with Ezra going here is that he's pretty fragile. He can just kind of get beat up on. I mean, you don't want to run him too far forward, especially when you have the Death Troopers and the Death Trooper Escort and the Dark Troopers ride across. But like what he's doing right here, he's going to take that center objective.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely see the play here. He's banking on the cover from that terrain piece, and hopefully the Death Troopers don't have line of sight. But I definitely see it. It's in my face, Todd.
Yes, but if you're off to the side like this, it doesn't. But yeah, no, I mean, that was the ideal play here, was to go and just sneak up and take that. And that's going to be kind of the back and forth that we're going to have, I think, for the majority of this game here, is going to be moving, fighting over that center objective. Unless you get somebody, you could take the Dark Troopers, especially now that Ezra's moved forward. If he pulls he pulled Han and Chewie.
Oh, boy.
Okay, well, that's a good one because they really have a lot of movement.
They do, and it's also just 2 characters are better than 1.
Yep. I mean, even with the tiebreaker, it doesn't matter. I mean, when it comes down to it. So, all right. So he's kind of figuring out what he wants to do with Han and Chewie.
It's not a bad pull, but looking at Craig's list, he could probably pull better.
Probably could. I mean, the biggest thing that I think the biggest concern I think he has is how he can get them to the point that he wants to. And now they're just breaking terrain, moving stuff around and everything like that. That's all right. That's part of the game. I mean, especially when it comes to like me playing.
Or this is a multi-leveled game.
Right.
So it's
I'm going to knock over terrain. I don't know about the rest of you. Okay, so he automatically starts out with watch out. He's on the loose. Spending that force right there.
Here comes Chewie.
Yep, getting Chewie kind of over the other point, up to that egress point. On the other side of that wall, little tiny wall that they have on the garage itself. And then Han's going to go ahead and move forward.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if what I'm looking at is correct, there you go. That's what I was like. I think Chewie. Yeah. Oh boy, this doesn't look the best for Ezra right now.
Yeah, I mean the bigger problem is going to be, can he push him back? I mean, even if he ties, he's not going to be able to get up on.
No, he at least not with Han. I believe Han is going to be there for either the extra shove.
And what they're looking to see is if they can potentially get him off. If he has an actual shot on, if Han has a shot on Ezra, I'm not sure if he does, just because of how that wall is.
Yeah, looking overhead, I think he doesn't. But hey, Matt and Craig are a lot more closer than we are,
right? And
this camera sometimes tends to lie. All right, so this looks like, I believe, Han going into Urza. Just to push him out of that little crevice. If it goes with Chewie, he goes straight into the terrain.
All right. All right, so here comes the attack. That is a lot of fails there. One,
and
two.
that's a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
Oh,
4 blocks, 2 expertise. Looking pretty good for Ezra. So the 2 expertise, so basically 6 hits. One of them being a crit. But 5 blocks.
That's tough.
It is one hit basically. One is going to go through. It looks like.
Yeah. It looks like all he was looking for was the one to get the shove off.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And he does get the shove off, which is basically the biggest thing he was looking for with that.
Yeah, especially with Han's angle coming from that side. I don't think Chewie could have done it, at least with one shove. Wait, you mean I'm not supposed to knock over terrain every game?
I'm supposed to. I know. That's my job for sure.
Yeah, that and breaking lightsabers. That's.
I've only broken one so far. I've been pretty lucky.
I've never broken my own lightsabers, but I've had other players break my character's lightsabers. Looks like a second attack going into Ezra. Probably Chewie.
It's Ezra.
Oh. Well. I'm sorry, that's how I was raised. Otro ataque entre Ezra.
Alrighty, so looking at the second attack roll, again, quite a few fails. Looking like 6 successes total. Again, a pretty decent defensive roll here.
Yeah, I don't think Ezra has missed the block so far.
No, has not. But the crits going through has just been enough to get that one shove each time.
Yeah, he's getting bullied out of there.
He is, and I don't. It might be just enough to push Ezra out. But it's still gonna, because he can just kind of go back because of his expertise. It's not going to flip the point because they're both on different elevations. Oh no, I was taking that back. Han is on the same elevation.
Yeah.
Or Han, not Chewie is on the same elevation.
Yeah,
so it is going to flip the point.
But
he's able to hit the egress. So even though all the the shoves happen, no real change to that.
No. Well, I saw the game plan. I saw Han to get him off the correct angle the first time, Chewie to shoot him again and further push him away. But damn, Ezra just ended up getting that expertise and repositioning to the ingress point to put him back to where he was originally.
Jake, how much damage went on Ezra?
4 damage in total to Ezra.
Any conditions?
Sorry, I was locked on for a second.
So yeah, total 4 damage going on to Ezra there. No conditions or anything during that attack.
Well, that was our first attack of the game.
Right.
Or attacks, plural. Not bad.
Yeah. So and now they're going to go ahead and do the another action here to basically get 2 on the point.
Boring conversation, a lot of boring conversation, gave him the advance to land on them.
Yep. Boring conversation gives
fair
them the
enough.
advance. A lot of force being spent here to kind of to get it, but it does flip the point, which is probably the most important piece. Scoring 3 points, basically kind of pulling that towards him.
Yeah, well, that center objective is so important where it's almost worth it. Because if you lose that, then you just basically lose your edge and your momentum for the rest of this game.
Exactly.
And if we've seen anything, because that first struggle is always the hardest.
Yeah, especially here. We don't want anything to happen.
Dashing on 2 expertise is a hell of a drug.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, the braking not fully disconnecting. I've seen that before. I mean, they're pretty easy to find replacement stuff. You can just get like plastic card and kind of to fix that and everything along those lines.
Yeah. And if not, just say that the lightsaber was turned off.
Yeah.
It's fine. They're just menacingly standing in their pose. But looks like Matt pulled Shatterpoint again?
Yeah, right back to
wow.
Shatterpoint.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so it looks like who did he?
Who is he Shatterpointing?
All right, oh, okay. That makes sense. Shatterpoint Han Solo from his own side.
For his tactic to climb.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think he's going to try and punch himself here. Maybe Chewie. I don't know, but he's...
Shots going into Chewie.
So
Oh,
going into
no,
Chewie.
not his best friend.
Yeah, go shooting his friend here.
Oh, well, Chewie just doesn't care.
4 blocks on 4 defense rolls is pretty solid. Can't ask for much better than that. Blocking 4 of those 5 strikes. I mean, it was a really great attack roll.
Oh,
It was a great attack roll too. It's just like countered by a great defensive roll. So just 1 success going through.
it looks like enough to get the shove off, though.
Exactly. Yeah, one's just enough to sit there and push Chewie right off of that point, even without pushing.
No damage, shove pin.
Yeah, no
Yep.
damage, just a shove and a pin on Han and Chewie. But it is enough to basically put 2 on the point. He didn't even have to put 2 on the point with Ezra having the tiebreaker, but it does push Chewie off. And then they are. They're good to go, basically back to 0.
Yeah, oh boy.
And that's, I think, going to be the story of this one. Is it just
Yeah,
all-
where have we seen this before?
Right?
Card pull is Dark Troopers. He's deciding.
Oh,
All right, pulling the
Troopers.
Dark Troopers, trying to decide which way to go. With only 5 force and only, like to start with, having 3 and already using 2,
Mhm.
I don't think he's really looking at doing a lot of reserving at this point in time. So more than likely, those Dark Troopers are going to be seeing some movement here going on.
Yeah, I believe so. Maybe he will use his. I believe they come with a rocket jump, don't they?
They can do rocket boots to sit
So,
there and get.
oh, and looks like he is doing.
Yeah, so I mean, you're going to use the force in it.
Force for jet boots.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jet boots, rocket boots. Yep.
Go boots.
Yep. Pulling himself up on top of that gantry with both of them. I do like the paint job on those guys. Like it's very
yeah.
bright, very bright. Like it.
I believe it's a snow. Yeah, it looks like snow on the bases. It really pops out the black from their metallic corpse, I suppose.
Oh
But,
right.
You know, rocket jumping to actually benefit from your long or your regular advancement should be fairly well. But
All right. So now
Oh,
now they
okay.
have 2 bodies on
Ooh.
here. He's looking to make sure he can fit. Doesn't look like he's going to get the entire base down there.
yeah, well, there's some juicy targets for sure. Now that
Yeah.
ooh, body blocking Ezra. Yeah, that can that's tough.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be tough here. I believe they did make the determination you can see through that window, that door that's
Yeah.
open.
Well, Ezra's a juicy target. He's already sustained 4 damage from the previous attack, leaving him with 4 health left.
Right.
So it should be. I mean, hey, 4 damage with at least one of the attacks is very possible for the Death Troopers.
Right. And then if they are able to take him out,
Oh, there you go. First attack coming up.
if they are able to take him out, then you get the Kanan trigger, and then you can look at going into Kanan after that.
Yeah,
But
so-
well, first things first, let's see what happens here. That's a lot of crits. 3 crits, 2, 1 hit, 2 fails.
Aye.
Even with that great defensive roll, it just is not going to matter when you're rolling crits like that.
No. Let's just ignore your defensive blocks like no tomorrow.
Right.
That's all that is. All right. Well, looking to do 4. Now it's up to Craig to see what conditions he wants to put on Ezra.
Yeah, I will be doing another prize wall giveaway today. It'll probably be
Yep.
4 pin and a jump into Ezra. That does wound him. Yeah, I'll be doing another giveaway probably around 4. That does also pin him. Now that is going to go ahead and cause a trigger to happen. He did get the jump, so he's able to jump back.
So you can hippity hoppity.
Yep. So before anything else can happen, there is going to potentially be a Kanan revenge trigger if it's not forgotten.
Yeah, Matt might have to be careful with positioning about this because if not, he just lines up the next shot.
Spent a
okay.
force for challenging the odds. It was supports. Moves it 1 his way. Does also get that momentum. All right, so now a 5 dice attack on that
Uh-oh.
revenge trigger. A lot happening and going to be happening with this activation.
Yeah.
First revenge trigger is solo.
Going into solo.
No, Solo's revenge trigger.
Oh, solo's revenge trigger first. Got it.
Oh,
Oh, he's
Okay,
going with
go with
Kanan
Kanan
first.
first,
And
all right.
he has said, so Kanan is going to go ahead and do his jump, heal, and jump, and now going to go and do his attack into
The
death
first
trooper.
step.
Into solo.
Now 5 dice into solo.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Rolled 6 by accident.
All right. So 3 crits still go through
Oh my
after all of the
goodness.
dice. That's probably going to hurt Solo a little bit.
5 damage and 2 shoves.
5 damage
Ooh.
and 2 shoves. And they are already pinned. So Han and Chewie looking a little hurt right now.
Yeah. Yeah, some nice chip damage going all around. And that center point just keeps on getting more bloodier and bloodier by the second.
Yeah, like crits just are going crazy right now. All right, so that was that.
All right.
Now he's going to, I think, do the solo.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
now it's the Hans.
Solo into Dark Troopers for revenge.
You got it. Now it's solo into Dark Troopers. All right, so looking like 2 blocks and 2 expertise, which gives him 2 extra blocks. So 4, 1, I believe 1 going through. Yeah, debating on a cannon reroll, essentially. I don't know if that's going to save him here.
Decided if he wants to reroll the
Yep, no rerolls happening right now. Yep. Yeah, that's what happens when you attack the Death Troopers. They just block everything and
Yeah,
they
Death
just
Trooper-
take it out.
Exactly. Now, with Ezra being wounded, there is still another attack. After all that is said and done, another attack. I'm assuming he's going to have the other one go into Kanan.
I think I heard him say Hans.
Oh, that is correct. Into Han, because Han is up on there.
Yeah.
So 3 fails, 1 block, 1 hit, or 1 expertise, I should say. So 2 hits and a crit will be going through, it looks like. Kallus reroll happening here.
Oh boy, first time. Oh, in the tray, please.
So basically what will happen is just the crit will go through based off of that last one.
Fair enough.
Kallus rerolls are a real thing, folks.
They
Kallus
are.
rerolls are a real thing.
Some might say a little bit too expensive for my blood, but hey, when they come in handy, they come in handy. Oh boy, yeah, this shove might be really critical. And bye-bye goes Hans. Adios. Yeah.
1 damage and shove.
All right, 1 damage and a shove from Han. Poor guy. Ah. No boy. Yeah, no, that's center point. Just becoming more. After all the shoves have been done, I'm flipping over back to Craig, scoring 3. It's on Matt's side of the board now. Pulling out the Rebel Commandos. Oof. How can he retake that center point? Alright, well. Using the tactic covert operations there. Dashing up or climbing? Looks like he's climbing.
All right. And that was a long activation just with everything going on there. It's pretty wild to see basically what all those triggers going off.
Yeah,
kind of
Matt
making
came up, pulled rebels,
Right.
used the tactic to dash. Looks like now he's going to shoot into Han and Chewie.
All right, yeah, Han and Chewie just kind of made themselves a pretty big target.
Yes, they did. All right, so
Especially with 5 damage already on them, it makes them
yeah.
something that
half their health just depleted like that.
Right. Two blocks, 2 hits, or 2
Oy,
fails,
boy.
and that is a lot of successes.
Oh,
Which is,
yeah.
going to be the full
Probably
tree.
a full tree.
You got, but when you get 6 strikes and 1 crit, that's just kind of a
Can
bad
the Rebel
news
Commandos
bears.
do 5 damage? That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they can definitely do that. compared to like some of the games we had yesterday, these are just
Yeah, these guys are murdering
the
each other going
knives
on
are
here.
just going off.
Yeah, last game, nobody could put a wound on anybody. Now, it's still the first struggle, and we have Ezra going down, and it looks like, not looks like, Han and Chewie are going down as well.
Yeah, a lot of wounds happening.
There's a lot happening. Wounded Han and Chewie.
So Han and Chewie are wounded.
Disarmed.
Oh, and disarmed.
Reposition, heal the damage off of Solo.
Oh, okay, so the one damage that Han Solo received gets healed off by the expertise, and also the reposition coming off from the Commandos.
Solo wound trigger dash on.
Okay.
Solo wound trigger happens. He's going to dash onto the point.
Yes.
So a lot going on here. Basically, overall what is happening is Han and Chewie were wounded. At this point in time, there's a wound trigger that causes a heal to take place. Getting that damage off of Solo. Solo moves up onto the point, and now takes. I think the point is going to stay where it is because of tiebreaker purposes.
Yes, but at least now. Oh, and the second attack.
Yep, second attack going in, 2 blocks again.
But at least one expertise button. So 3 blocks in total.
3 blocks in total. So 4 going down the tree basically here is what's going to happen. Even with the 3 blocks.
So the big question is, who's this going into? It looks like it's going into the Death Troopers.
Yeah, which makes the most sense here because the Death Troopers were the only other target on the only thing that was on here. So definitely want to get rid of those guys.
Yeah, well, you need to get them off the center point. If not, they're just going to stay on there the whole time. All right, so shoving one off.
So 5 damage onto the Death Troopers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so 4 damage, 5 down to 4 on the Death Troopers, and they're going to pin and disarm them as well.
They don't like that.
No, nobody likes pin, especially then
Repositions up the ladder.
Up the ladder, which will basically put them on that up on the mission.
Yeah, second action move.
There was a lot happening there. But
There
yeah.
was. A lot of force was spent. And it all started with that, the dash action from the tactical advance.
Right.
That's what caused him to be within range.
So the Commando's looking pretty solid there.
Yeah. Well, Matt picked up a wound,
Mm-hmm.
and he scored back 3, but still on Craig's side of the board, at least on the momentum tracker, so he gets an extra momentum as well. So, yeah, anyone's game still, I believe.
All right.
Oh, and Craig pulled Shatter.
And Craig pulling the Shatter. Really trying to debate what he wants to do here. I mean, there is not really a path to win here unless you were able to flip 2 points and get a wound, and I just don't see that happening. Well, potentially, I guess. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see a real path to sit there and get it at this point in time, but definitely if you could get if you wanted to get another wound in 3 points, it really puts you pretty close.
Yeah. Well, the biggest question would be, what unit would best benefit me in this scenario where Ezra's wounded on the point, but currently General Solo has it in the center, and it's just one model, so Ezra doesn't count. So what model could I send now to either contest or take over? That you can either go with the extra bodies or using Moff Gideon's tie-breaking mechanic.
Exactly.
There's definitely a lot of ways. I think Craig is just more worried about what would happen if he does send someone. Kanan still hasn't gone. He has an activation left. Chopper, the murder robot that we all know and love, still has not gone. So I'd be worried to my boots. I'd be shaking in my boots, worried about his activation.
Yeah, there is a lot to go on. I mean, but it seems to be everyone just running straight to that center point is just making themselves a target, and I don't know if that's really where they want to be with all of that. But it looks like he's going to go Han and Chewie with that shatter point.
This early. Uh-oh, they go down again. Oh, but Dark Troopers.
Yeah, I think the Dark Troopers make more sense here. So he's going to go with the Dark Troopers.
Yep. So Dark Troopers being used for Shatterpoint makes a lot more sense with me. They're still up. If you went with Han and Chewie, you put them at a really risky spot where if they get targeted again, they're out by struggle 2. Or by the next time you refresh your order there.
And I don't think you want to take that risk.
No. And then Dark Troopers, I mean, it's annoying that they're as I would say tanky as they are and so good at their job. But I mean, it's the best play. Putting them back on the center point, out bodying Solo, and now they just have 2 attacks into either Solo or Kanan. They just have to be careful on the wound triggers that might happen.
So basically going to the Rebel Commandos to kind of
it's a softer target.
Focus attack because he paid for the jump.
Okay, so paying for the jump to position them back onto the point, and now focus attacks into the Commandos.
And their first one, this is going to get rid of that disarm that they have, but they are disarmed right now. So the disarm will go away. 4 strikes, all fails.
Ooh.
That was a Todd special as far as that roll goes.
Joke's on you, I didn't need my expertise.
Right, yeah, that is kind of brutal.
The Todd special.
That is the Todd
Todd dice
special.
over there. What's going on here? All right, well, with an 8 health pull, I don't think
4 pin and a shove.
4 pin and a shove. So I've made this mistake plenty of times, especially when I have units that can attack twice. I will shove someone
Outside of the
outside of the range of the second.
And the second attack's going to go into General Solo.
All right. So this time expertise online and Solo blocking 2 expertise.
Blocks 2 and 1 expertise. That's
It's not
again,
bad.
It gets 1 crit out of that. And
Crit and
damage
damage.
from the expertise. It doesn't look like he wants to spend the force to roll for the Kallus reroll.
Matt confidently saying, "I'll let it happen."
Right? Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wanted to let that happen. He's got a look on his face like he is not 100% very happy with that.
No boy. Well, it's much. He only has 2 force left.
Yeah.
So it's I don't. Oh. Will he pull it?
Yep.
Yep. There he did.
Kallus reroll. Still turns into. Still has 2 fails there, but he turns that crit down to a fail now.
All right. So
Or to a
that's
hit,
fair.
I should say. So only 1 success. I mean, it's rough only having 1 force left at this point in time.
Further down the road, we'll look back at this moment talking about how good this play was. But as for right now, my feeble little brain cannot comprehend it. So scoring 3.
Still scoring 3.
No wounds. How much damage? Just 1.
On the Solo?
No, 1 damage again into Solo. So back to where he was. Uh-oh. And then pulling Kanan with Matt to respond.
All right, so pulling Kanan, I don't see a reason why he would not use Kanan.
Well, I hope he does, because if not, he's going to have to use his last force. All right.
And he's going to dash Kallus with the tactic ability.
Yeah, give them further up the board.
And that should. Kallus is a Spectre, so that will allow Kanan to do a dash as well.
Where does Kanan want to go?
The biggest problem that they're running into is just all the bodies that they have
Yeah.
up on that tower, on that entry area.
Yeah. But I see a sneaky little play that Matt might be doing. I'm thinking that Matt's looking for the reposition.
And attacking the Dark Troopers, who are on 4 damage right
So
now.
theoretically 5 damage and they're done.
So 2 fails, 2 crits out of the expertise.
Yeah, going into 4 blocks.
So basically, in one of those will mitigate a crit. So basically, just 1 down the tree for that.
Yeah, so I don't think enough. Ooh.
Gonna use Kallus reroll again.
His last force now. He can't pull this out again.
So that does basically add in and gets 3.
So 2
3
down the tree.
3 down the tree now. That will, because the crits will turn into 2 more crits.
Yep. So he finally got the wound on the Death Troopers.
So because he did wound, it's going to get the Han going.
The choo-choo. It's reaction train.
Right. Moving Han right back up onto that point. Standing next to Ezra.
Where he rightfully belongs.
Right. And with only 1 actual live body on the point out of those 4, he's going to be able to flip that back.
Yes. Well, see,
Looking at what he wants to do here, I mean, it is pretty solid. I mean, so basically, in the second action, he's going to move Kanan up there as well.
Oh, that's a lot of bodies.
A lot of bodies out there. So now you have, okay, so now we have 2 out of 3, 2 out of the 5 that are up there are healthy bodies. And that is Kanan's activation.
Oh, boy.
Looking at the remainder here, we have, looking for the flip. Looks like Lando going to do some refreshing stuff going on here.
Well, he's pretty fresh. If there was a character in Star Wars that I thought had some fresh style,
right,
it'd be the man with the cape.
Lando has expose and disarm. Reshuffling.
All right, for the reshuffle, he gets exposed and disarmed.
Uh-oh.
And now we see a Bossk activation showing up here.
Bossk.
I'm pretty, like I said, I'm really excited for this list with basically the Lando Empire build. Something a little different that we don't normally get to see.
Yeah, same here. I think this is the 3rd time we've seen Bossk now at the stream table.
Bossk is a good one. He's very, as a 3-cost character, he does do a lot of things for the scoundrels list and everything along those
He
lines.
just has to roll expertise. That's
Right.
the one requirement you have to have for Bossk. If you're terrible at rolling expertise, I'm sorry.
I mean, you can pay the payday him to make him an emperor, like at any point in time, to give him the Empire tag. So it works out really well. I don't know. It looks like he's, like, depending on where he can go, it looks like he has a lot of good targets to do some explosive ordnance over there.
It looks really nice. Yeah, explosive ordnance is an ability that multiple people have tried to use. I have not seen it yet successfully used.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Bossk is suspending force for 5 die against Kanan.
Yep.
All right.
So it looks like explosive ordnance is popping off against Kanan.
Yep.
Oh!
So 1 damage goes
Woo!
through.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know how excited I am about that. 3 other players who use this ability at least twice have not been able to get an expertise.
But it happens. It goes off. We're happy about it. All right, so 1 damage. That should go onto Kanan and onto 1 damage onto Kanan, and then 1 damage onto Han, or onto who else is up there?
I think Kanan's the only living body.
No, I think Han is up there as well. General Han.
Dash came from the ability, shooting at
Right?
Okay. So
And then shooting into the Commandos.
yeah, so with the
They're-
explosive ordnance, you get the dash
Yep.
afterwards, and then he's laying into the Commandos who have 4 health left. Yeah, no, Sabine has a similar ability, which I like a lot. I tested her in my Mandalorians list for a while.
5 results, full tree. There's a lot of crits in there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And unfortunately, with 4,
with just the 4, the 4 left that the Rebel Commandos have,
right.
I think they're down.
I believe they are too. So we will see a couple more triggers going on. But one thing I'm noticing right now is looking at that momentum tracker. There is a lot of momentum on that momentum tracker right now for Matt.
Yeah. Well, if with this wound, Craig is now adding. It's just those revenge triggers. I'm afraid of. That's literally what it is. But yeah, with the wound and the momentum that he's going to gain from it, puts him in a really good place if he's allowed to.
Total of 7 damage when it's all said and done. Definitely enough to put the Rebel Commandos down.
Yeah, no, I'm more worried about. Yeah, okay, wounded with a pin. Ouchies. Yeah. If Bossk survives, and that center point is still up for grabs, he scores 3 and puts him. Craig gets in a really good spot.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, he's in a pretty good position here.
So only scoring 2. Still a good spot.
All right. Pulling General Solo really doesn't have much of an option here because he doesn't have any force. So we're just going to see it. We're just going to see Solo go.
So it looks like Han is moving.
So he should be using his tactic ability here. I think I overheard him say that he's going to be using it on Chopper. Yeah.
Oh, so, fair enough. So full reposition from Chopper and Han.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, he's going to use his ability on Chopper. Chopper gets a lot of movement here.
Especially for the little murder bot. The little murder bot who could.
Exactly.
So yeah, what a sneaky play. Repositioning with his tactic and then climbing just to snag that back point.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit of a turning point here. Flying action shots into Moff Gideon. So he is right on the same elevation as that point in the back now. Shooting at Moff in his own deployment area, while being on the same level as that back point. It's going to be a little painful, I think, right here because he's now going to have 4 points.
Yeah, well, trying to put in, I believe, as much conditions as Moff as possible. Moff being able easily to climb over that and meet him there is kind of
4 crits.
Ouch.
4 crits. So I think he's going to go crit to a hit and add 3 blocks based off of the expertise. But still, 3 crits.
Yeah, 3 going down Han's chart is still something. I don't think, I mean...
There's a pin.
He said a pin, a strain, and 2 shoves.
And 2 damage.
And 2
so
damage.
Pin, strain, 2 damage, 2 shoves, basically shoving Moff Gideon straight back, pretty much right onto the board edge almost.
Yeah. So now you can't move, and if you do move, you take damage. Which one do you decide is worse?
Exactly.
Yeah, what do you allow to happen?
And 4, yeah.
Scoring 4, yeah. That's tough. And just like that, it flipped over.
Right, yeah. Craig. Not sure if there's a good out here for Craig. Looking at it, I don't see who he quite revealed yet.
So pulling Moff.
And there is Moff.
There's Moff.
Moff right off the rip.
So at least with Moff, he gets to dash a supporting unit. But since there are no supporting units around him,
everybody else has moved forward at this point in time, so he's not really getting much out of Moff with his smug determination ability. Yeah, I don't think there's any within 4.
The Commandos are wounded. Kanan has 1, and the rest of his board is clear.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little rough on Craig's side at this point in time. So both Han and Chewie and the Death Troopers are both wounded. And then Moff, who he has right now, is pinned, strained, and has 2 damage on him. And then Lando is exposed and disarmed. So he's not looking too good. There's a lot of conditions floating around on Craig's side of the board here.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm trying to think for Craig to see if there's a doubt, but I can't find one.
Okay, cool. He's tactic, popped his pin. He's attacking, so he took the strain. He's at 5.
Okay, so yep, the damage going through was straight. You mean?
So he used his tactic ability on himself, the Smug Determination, to move himself, which basically got rid of the pin. And then basically is now going to shoot into Han, but by not removing the strain is going to take the damage, puts him up to 5 damage on Moff Gideon right
It's
now
half
out of his
his health.
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there was another option, to be 100% honest, though. I think that was the only real option he has with the activation.
Yeah, Craig is looking for that.
Oh, he's deciding to move instead, which is going to
Yeah.
pop his strain.
Okay.
Now shooting. So
shoot.
basically, unfortunately, he's not going to get into melee, so he can't sit there and have something that he wants.
Yeah, add an extra die from his objective benefit.
Looks like
It's a decent roll.
2, 3, 4 hits and 1 expertise. It turns into a crit as well. Is going to go ahead and, based off of the expertise, also put a pin on him, but there is 3 blocks on the other side of the board from General Solo. And now they're just looking to see how the shoves are going to work here.
And down goes Solo.
Yep. I don't think that's going to put him off the point. Maybe. I think he's still going to be within. But he will have 2 within the point now. So he will be able to flip that back in his favor.
Well, I believe I'm correct. Even if they were at the same elevation, he was still in. Moff Gideon takes that point.
He does have the tiebreaker.
Yes.
So it just scores 2 here, though.
But I believe that saves him.
Scores 2. Now, basically, he's either going to have to flip one of the points, Matt, here, in order to end this, or get a wound. So, but he's in a pretty decent position to sit there and take some action. Here comes Kallus.
All right, so wound's going to be hard. Both his supports are down. His Death Trooper Escort hasn't moved. Bossk is somewhere around there. So Han's suffering 2 damage and a pin.
Yeah, no, the offset attack is 2 damage and a pin on Solo, so that's just only that's the first damage or condition put on Solo at 2 damage and a pin.
Tactic dash toward Bossk is an attack.
Okay.
All right, and then he's going to attack our dash towards Bossk here with Kallus, and then do an attack into him.
Yeah, that's fair. He really needs the wound, and Bossk is probably the only viable option.
Looking at 2 fails, 2 hits, 2 expertise.
After converting, it's just the shove from the tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the only thing that really he's getting through here, because there is 4 blocks, after everything is said and done, just going to get the expertise shove.
Yeah, that's tough. Was looking for the wound, but a shove is a shove.
Yeah, it's going to be enough to sit there and do something at least, kind of move, get the board movement around a little bit, but isn't going to be enough to basically.
Not to
end
close the
struggle.
struggle out. No.
Scoring 3.
Oh boy, Craig has to really pull something here. Whatever this is has to be magic.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal here at this point in time. So pulls Lando,
Oh boy. We've talked about the man for so long.
right?
How will Craig use him?
He's already used his shatter point as well. So I mean, the only other option is DTE. Death Trooper Escort, and that's kind of what he's debating. Is Death Trooper Escort is the one that's in his deck. Looking at the other side, the only character that is left in the deck for Matt is Chopper. So it's been great for him because Chopper's been protected from being shot at the entire time. All right, gonna shovel it back in again.
Fair enough.
And giving himself
Giving
strain. All right, so now it's exposed, disarmed, and strained. All on Lando.
And he pulled Lando again. Well, Destiny wanted to use.
It was a 50-50.
Yeah.
Taking. I think he's just having fun with this, to be honest. I don't think he is too worried about it.
No, well, he is. Lando already has some conditions on him. Strain just popped off now.
Yep, strain popped off based off of this.
He has everything but pin.
Gonna take the. Well, he pops the strain, I believe, here, taking the 3 damage.
So moving up.
But he is still disarmed and exposed.
Yes.
So whatever attack he decides to do here is going to be a little painful.
Well, it's not the first time Craig has rolled with no expertise down his with a disarm. So
right.
His first attack did fairly well.
He takes 3. He's going to shoot. He's disarmed.
Yep. So shooting, getting rid of that disarm.
But no expertise on this one.
No. But Craig doesn't need those. Craig does not need expertise. He's fine.
All right, spending a force to coordinate fire strain. Here comes the attack. Blocking 4. With the disarm here, like, really doesn't look like a whole lot's going to be happening. Kind of just looking at the calculations of everything. Does have a dash on from the expertise here. 3 damage into Kanan. I believe that's going to put Kanan up to 4 damage total on him. Still not going to do a whole heck of a lot. He does have a dash off of that.
I'd get him into better positioning, I suppose.
It could. I mean, but I would be looking. He really should be looking at to where he's going to be positioning going into struggle number 2 at this point in time.
He's looking for shoves.
Looking for shove. So let's see what he's changing his mind. I think maybe on the damage. Kind of just debating on what he can do with all of those shoves and everything along those lines.
All right, so, I mean, if the shove does go through, he still gets off the point. I don't believe he has that much movement to get onto the point.
I don't believe he does either. I don't think he's going to be able to get close enough. So he does go ahead and have deflect.
Deflect 2 damage back. Pop the strain. Puts him at that.
9 on who?
Kanan.
And Lando's going to have 5 on him.
5 on him exposed.
Okay, so after that course of events there,
So
basically Lando is going to be sitting on a total of 9 damage on him, on Kanan. Lando, who was already on 3 damage, he's now lost his disarm and lost that strain that he had. He still will have it as exposed, but Kanan did deflect 2 damage onto him, so now Lando will have a total of 5 damage. That was non-combat damage, pretty much. Basically,
Yes.
It was self-inflicted with the strain and then the deflect damage.
but Kanan being left on 1,
Yeah, that does mean quite a bit.
That's
there.
something, yeah.
So here comes Chopper.
Oh boy.
So basically, just scoring the 1 gives him 1 momentum. It doesn't really matter how this goes. This is going to be a.
This is match struggle, yes.
Right.
At this point, how much murder does a murder bot want to do?
Exactly. Is there an empty water bottle somewhere? Give me those scissors.
I know what you're doing.
I need
I've done that so many times before.
Yeah, and it's like,
Oh, you probably should have muted my mic as well.
yeah. Sorry about the crinkles there. I'm getting the water so I can sit there and start getting the painting going.
So Chopper went up to attack. I believe did nothing. He's being a little shy. That's all it is. And with Chopper, yeah, with Chopper being used, that allows for Matt to finally reshuffle his deck, fresh new force, and probably the best type of start you can go into Struggle 2.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, where Craig's going to have to start. Yes, he gets to his choice of where the objectives are going to be, which is ideal. But the other problem here, well, I mean, DTE is a pretty good activation to start out with, so I don't think that's even bad.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad.
He's got DTE, so we're looking at the top. Where is the objectives? We got the one on the very top middle. Looks like the bottom right. Okay, and the bottom left. Okay, so basically looking like a triangle for you. It's going to be on the fail. You have a wounded a Chewie kind of close, but that's not going to help you in any way.
No.
Supporting units will be challenging the odds here. All right, so Craig, again, we're at that position where both these players are 2-0. Craig needs to win the struggle, if not win, because you don't want to be down. You don't want an 2-0 loss going into your last round.
No, but with Never Tell Me Odds, it's kind of hard to predict.
Exactly.
We've seen players, especially last turn, try to predict the next set of objectives and where they're going to be, and then guessing wrong just hurts so much.
Yeah, I mean, you still there is some guessing that goes along to it. There is definitely some guessing that's going to go along with it, but that's ultimately you just have to figure out what you're going to do there. You're just going to have to leave it up to fate and let fate kind of take the wheel, you know.
That's fair. So Todd, you want to tell the streamers what you're doing behind the camera?
Yeah, behind the camera here, I am attempting to. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get a copy of the Ahsoka I'm No Jedi box. So basically, had to scramble. I forgot all of my brushes, so I went and got some of the Monument Hobby Sable brushes that I think are great brushes.
They're very good.
So I got some of those. I got another brush for basically to brush on primer, so I can prime them. And I got a little sort of palette thingy that I can use, basically to kind of work on getting this Vader painted. So I'm going to start with Vader today. And I'm using a water bottle, cutting that up.
Yes, that was the sounds that we heard.
Yep.
I've done it before. It's very I usually just have a stash of water bottles.
Yep.
I'm collecting my room regardless. So it's so I'm like, I don't want to waste a cup. Let me just cut this water bottle in half and use it as a dipping pool.
Yep. So basically, going to put some work into putting a little bit of primer onto Vader here at this point in time. So basically, what I'm working on.
Yeah. So surprisingly, Death Trooper was pulled.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the tactic, he gets the movement plus his regular movement, and focusing to shoot Han.
Alrighty. So here's we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, not a bad target.
No. So this will be interesting because, of course, I'm painting on the road here. Don't have any type of a airbrush or anything like that, and doing brush on primer. So let's wish me luck, folks. Wish me luck.
I like brush on primer.
I do. I mean, you can get a nice. You can definitely control the amount of primer that goes on.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, bad defense roll for Han. Looking like just, I believe, 2 with his expertise. But really good roll for Craig.
So might end up getting the damage in that he's going to want to get in for sure.
No rerolls, so he's sacrificial lab.
I mean, at this point in time, I think it's so early in the struggle. Probably really wants to hold off on using too much of his force. He just refreshed his deck, refreshed his force. I would hold off on this as well, I would think. And just kind of like thinking through now here how he wants to go down the tree, because there is a lot of, he did get a lot of successes, so kind of where exactly he wants to do. So kind of going in the tank a little. 7 strain, expose, reposition, and this was in the solo, I believe,
Yeah,
right?
this was into General Han.
Yep. So I believe. So yeah, I think that, like I said, that gives him all the way up to 9. He's exposed. He's and pinned and strained.
These are some beautiful models.
Yeah, there's some great models out in there. I think they got all of the. Han is now wounded.
Han is now wounded. Oh yes, I forgot. Han literally only has 9 health.
Yep.
I think
For a primary, that's I guess sometimes something we forget about. But yep.
to be fair, Lando also only has 9 health. I think
The scoundrels up there. This cannot.
Yeah, I mean Kanan has 10 and so does Moff. So, they're on the low side of things.
I think we've gotten spoiled with some of the early models that had like 12 health on their as primaries.
Yes.
So I think that's probably part of the problem that we've like when we're looking at that going, oh, only 9. It's like, well, yes and no.
Yeah, well, it's gonna.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you so much.
we do like we enjoy the podcast. I mean, we're kind. I know we're kind of on the casual side of things, not going to be the big tryhards and everything that Aubrey and I are. But we enjoy the game and we enjoy talking Star Wars all the time. So I think that hopefully that comes through to a lot of the people that listen to the podcast.
It's fun to be on.
Yep.
As you guys can tell, my voice is not Aubrey's.
And you are not a librarian.
No, I'm not a librarian. I work in the fields, brother. If your hands don't look like this after a 12-hour shift, you're a sissy boy. No, I just have a bad sleep schedule. That's all that's given me. But yeah, it looks like he pulled Han, and with the Han reshuffle, he's giving a strain to Lando. Yeah, with the Lando shuffle, sorry.
Yeah, he's just loving that reshuffle, I tell you what.
It's fun. It's fun to do.
Alrighty. So here is, it looks like a Kallus activation.
Oh boy. Yeah, it looks like Matt's going to try to snag that right side objective, the lower one with Kallus, or if not, he's going for at least the hit. All right, so it looks like he's going to try to finish off Bossk, but a pretty good defensive roll coming off from Craig.
Pretty good defensive roll, but I mean, it's Bossk, and Bossk is, I think, fully healthy at this point.
Yeah, Bossk tanked the first attack, so he should be fine. Also, I say should be fine, but he's going in at least... Yeah, 1 down his tree, I believe.
So yeah, I mean, a pretty decent defensive role keeps Bossk pretty healthy still. I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, Bossk is definitely
one of my favorite characters.
And I had a ton of fun painting him. 1 damage, 2 shoves.
Sorry, Bossk. You're not immune to being shoved.
No. I mean, he's going to see if he can pull this back his way some. I mean, the Kallus is pretty far away, though, from the priority objective. So, I mean, it is going to be something good to go and get that 1 point, though.
Well, it's on the ground, but he already uses his tactic to dash, so he still has his full movement, but he just doesn't get there. I think that's what Matt's already seen. But he did get mask off that bottom point, so...
yeah,
moving. But yeah,
moving him off the bottom point definitely is going to be. It was probably the biggest concern that he had there. Worked out well as far as that piece is concerned. Definitely hit that objective. Yeah, definitely going in the tank. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to happen here, especially to make sure that he secures the win. And that's really what he's going for, is for that big 2-0 win now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's your strategy has to change a lot, and I believe your units have to move around a lot, and it takes a lot from the person who won Struggle 1. Yeah, so no further action, just scores points, but still doesn't get enough to further from Greg's
just
side.
scoring 1 point here.
So Craig going to play that Shatter Point, see if he wants to do anything with it. Yeah, with the priority point being the top point, no one's around it.
Yeah, I mean, and this is probably an ideal time to really get that Shatter Point going.
Yeah, I mean, well, because he can pick whoever he soul chooses, but that's their point. So if everything goes to plan, and he does get someone on that priority point, he's going 2, and then depending on who he uses, he could probably snag that bottom point. But
potentially so. I mean, so this is a big turn right here for Craig. It would be really good to see that him go ahead and get ahead on points here if possible. Securing 2 points on this activation is ideal for what he is going to want if he can sit there and find a way to make it work, find a path there.
Yeah, Craig.
And that's kind of what he's looking at is there a way to give somebody, move somebody over? Yeah,
Craig's been giving so many chances here, but both his supports are down. And even if they do come back, some of them have, or at least the DTs have 2 status initials on them, so one of them will stay with it. DTE, nothing on him. Moff has a strain and a pin. Lando has all those conditions still.
Yeah, Lando loves conditions is really what I want to call this list right now. Just Lando is
yes.
Lando is getting a ton of conditions.
Yeah, Lando just eats those conditions up. Just having any. You're really using that primer. Oh boy.
Yeah, man. I'm getting it on there. I'm putting it on smoothly enough to where it's basically going to be. This is an activity in how can you do 2 things at once, and I think I'm accomplishing it. I think I'm accomplishing the.
Yes, I think with some assistance, but yes, you are accomplishing 2 things at once.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you're here for, is to help me accomplish 2 things at once.
I believe so. Question: why didn't you start by holding the base and then painting the cape and the rest of the figure?
Oh no, I like to do things different.
Oh, okay.
Don't question me. Don't question my methods and tactics here, sir. Someone's sleeping on the couch tonight.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
And we don't even have a couch, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, oh boy. I got put in the doghouse, boys. Oh, no.
Questioning the boss over here. What the heck's going on? So hard to find good help these days.
Oh, man.
But no, I mean, it's like, so has gone with Shatterpoint here. Looks like it's going to be, like I said, such a pivotal thing here.
Oh, you want to?
Hey, who are you Shatterpointing, Jake?
He's still deciding.
Still in the tank here on who's going to go and Shatterpoint. I mean, and like I said, I don't blame him one bit on this. This is a big decision. He is going to be a very, very pivotal part of the game with everything. So I don't decided with Dark Troopers. I mean, and having 2 activations, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Ugh, spending 2 force for that jump boots. Yeah, that's what happens when you get wounded.
Right. It's. I mean, and the thing is like it's a very, very good activation too. I mean, you really want to sit there and make sure that you're taking full advantage of everything.
You know how a wound doesn't cost force abilities to get over. You want to know how that works? By playing armor.
Are you talking about armor? Yeah.
By playing the superior model armor. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Because they're Mandalorians and they're superior in every single way.
In every single way?
Yeah, they look awesome. They play awesome. They make you awesome by playing them. They're just awesome. I don't know what to tell you. They're just superior in every single way.
It sounds like there's a lot of awesome going on if you play them. I mean, but that might just be you.
No, it's a lot awesome. Trust me, a lot awesome.
A lot of awesome, he says. I don't know. I mean, I would say that based off of what we are seeing at Worlds this year, a lot of people will agree with you that it is awesome.
Yes, and then the Dev Troopers agree with me so much that they punched Kallus right now. And it looks like they're going fairly enough through on the tree.
So Kallus didn't have any damage on him going into this, and so that's going to be probably the biggest issue here is that Kallus is just...
Okay, well, at least the first melee attack only did a damage and a shove, pushing him, I guess, in a better position for the second trooper to prosper more from shoving him. Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, he pushed him into the wall, as you guys can see, the bottom corner edge. And it's a really tough way for him because there's already a model next to the side of the piece of the terrain. It's a little hallway now connecting. So Craig's gonna have to hopefully thread the needle there. Yes, with Agent Kallus only rolling a blank into expertise. Pretty good. Ooh, 2 crits on Craig's side.
Yeah, so a solid
Pretty
hit
good
here.
roll. Yeah.
A solid attack. 3 and a pin on the Kallus.
So in total, 4 and a pin on the Agent Kallus.
But it does score him the points that he needs. He's pretty much locking up this struggle, which is really all that really matters. He really needed to get this struggle, get this one under his belt, and it looks like it's going to be okay.
Yeah, well, the wound would have helped him end it here and now.
It would have.
But now this is just Matt seeing if maybe he can flip things around.
And at this point in time, he's probably just looking at how he's going to position himself with the potential flip that comes in the future struggles here. So I am expecting that he's going to probably just kind of move around. Chopper is a pretty good activation here. It's not a lot going on with it. You're not going to be hurting yourself in the future activation.
Yes. It looks like he's trying to line up a murder bot activation is what he looks like he's doing.
Yep. I'm almost done with the brush-on primer of Vader for those who are watching. Or curious what is going on and why is he keeps laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the things you do.
Pay 1 to jump. Recover action to the strain off of Kanan.
All right, so pay 1 to jump. Recover action to take the strain off of Kanan. And Kanan, like I said, he's down already, but it helps for like other things. Activation. Just move action and basically kind of resigns himself a little bit here to just get on to the final struggle 3 here.
Yeah. No, very much rope-a-dope action happening with Chopper here. He's waiting for the special moment to unleash his right hook, and I believe so because he's helping out his allies, which is fine. But yeah, just getting yourself ready for the 3rd struggle, preparing yourself for location, and Craig with hot Oh, no, Shatterpoint. Oh, no, he
No,
pulled
that's
Han
it.
and Chewie. He
He
has it
pulled
in his
Han and
hand.
Chewie,
I
yeah.
didn't see on the camera.
Yeah, so basically the way that he's doing it, it makes it a little difficult for us to see. So basically he pulls his card and leaves it in his hand until he decides which way he's going to go with it. But
That's fair.
Han and Chewie, I think, makes the like it's a pretty decent activation for him to go with and everything along those lines.
Looks like he is going with Han and Chewie.
I think that's the right call. I don't think there's any reason to not go with Han and Chewie here. Might as well just finish it out. He is about halfway through his order deck as it is, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal to sit there and do that.
All right, well, it looks like he's sending him towards that bottom objective, so both of his supports are going to be near the same place. Yeah, Craig, I believe this is in the bag for Craig. So
I don't see how Craig can lose this at this point in time, especially because, I mean, he's got basically just needs to get one. He's already got one. Really, what he should be looking at here is where he's going to be positioning as well for the next struggle.
Yeah, because as of right now, he's wounded the Commandos. Han is still wounded, hasn't woke up yet. Kallus has 5 health left, and Kanan's sitting at, I believe, 6 health. So I think if he wants to be greedy, go for another wound. But if not, just position yourself better for the next struggle.
And in all honesty, I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't even be going for a wound. What I would probably be looking at doing here is maybe just softening up an easy target so that I can work on getting momentum on the next activation. So, I mean, yeah, an attack makes sense by all means, and you have 2 models that can make attacks. So it might be something where it's like, okay, where can I go and soften up a model without getting a wound, without triggering any type of revenge triggers, just so I can sit there and really kind of get myself prepared to like get some easy momentum when the next round starts. Is that the proper way to go? I don't know. I mean, but that is probably what I would be looking at doing at this point.
It looks like some of the results have already been put in for the final. Is this the final round?
This is round 3 of 4.
Oh, okay, for the 3rd round.
Yeah, we did just see Sarah Cruel wandering around, so that I'm assuming he has not just decided to leave his match.
Yeah. All right, so looks like the punch is going into Kanan.
Now, I know they say all the time on the stream not to eat paint, but it is so tasty.
Oh, are you a paint licker? That's their title. Are you a paint licker, Todd?
I have been known to be a connoisseur of paint.
Ooh, finally that last damage that Kanan needed. So 3 damage to finish him off.
Refreshing the force and healing.
Gets her other condition. That's pretty good. That's what you could probably ask for. Wound the model that could probably do most damage to struggle 3.
I mean, so there was a couple of different options there of what you can do with that. But I mean, even before the end of the struggle ends, because basically once he gets the momentum from the wound, then that's going to be there.
How did the primer taste?
Primer tastes amazing, just like their
No,
paint.
fair enough. Uh-oh.
So Kanan does do his revenge trigger, jumps up and shoots Han. Again, it doesn't really matter much here. I think this is just... it is kind of nice just to get the revenge trigger out of the way, I guess, when you know you're going to win. A pretty solid 3 hits and a crit coming through here. 1 crit makes 2 damage. Pretty good blocks, though, too, so... Not a whole lot of going on there with this. And Chewie is going to shoot into Kallus to maybe get another wound?
Ooh, he's stocking up those wounds. I would probably save some of those.
So it's kind of interesting here, like if he's going to might get another wound on Kallus. He's trying to, and that was just the mission critical announcement. So
Oh boy,
we will be going into struggle 3 with mission critical starting right off the bat, and Matt having the first activation. Just wild how this.
And I think we're starting it with Kallus being wounded as well.
Full tree on this attack.
Ooh.
That's definitely going to put Kallus down. He decided he did go against Kallus doing his Kallus rerolls.
Well, Moth and Chewie they have their full tree. They can do 5 damage.
Well, without a doubt, it's going to be the wound.
Oh, okay.
4 damage, disarm, strain, opting not to get the wound, so leaving him alive leaving Kallus alive on
1 with strain. Oh my goodness.
Alive on 1.
Alive on 1.
The Shatter Point special.
Yes.
Alive on 1, pin,
exposed.
disarm, strain, no expose.
Yeah, interesting.
I think he's just doesn't want to get that second Kanan trigger, and that's completely understandable.
Yeah, well, at least not now. His Struggle 3 hasn't happened yet, and it's mission critical. They just announced it. So we're going to Struggle 3 with momentum being gained on both sides after every activation. Stocking up those wounds now is very beneficial.
Oh, without a doubt. Definitely want to. I mean, that is going to be your second tiebreaker going into it. So even if he doesn't win this match, but is able to pull out the win second time for Craig, I mean, I'm not counting him out at this point in time. But having the wounds as your second tiebreaker, because there are going to be a lot of people with the same amount of victory points. So then it is going to go back down to your wounds are going to be your next one. So it makes our strength of schedule, I should say. So it makes sense, though, to sit there and to go this route.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely liking this. Liking what they're doing here.
Yeah, oh boy, it looks like the...
I didn't bring primer, so I'm brush on primering it. This is part of my job.
Primaries are challenging the odds.
Okay.
Primaries are challenging the odds on the flip here. Primaries are challenging the odds.
And this
Looks
is
like
the...
they have selected the points already here.
Yeah, this is the, it's the triangle?
They're all kind of triangles. We can make them
Yeah.
all triangles.
This is the 65-degree triangle.
65-degree triangle.
Because it's more than 45. So I'm going to say 65. Actually, oh no, this looks
Who
pretty-
invited this kid? That's what I wanted.
A nerd invited me, okay? A nerd invited another nerd.
There are a lot of judge calls happening over there at the X-Wing people. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but yeah.
Yeah, but with all their new stuff that got released. I'm going to piss off some X-Wing players. I'm sorry. Ahead of time.
All right. So yeah, it looks like he has Chopper at this point in time. No, I don't think he does. He has.
No, he used Chopper last time.
Yeah. So I can't. Who is it, Jake? Who is his activation? All right. So he is going with the Commandos here.
Yes. So they're awakened.
Yep. They have woken up. So all right, so they wake up, they spend their 2 to dash and focus.
Yeah, so I mean, just insane movement, dashing, hunkering, getting that within 1, and then their movement. So now they're just positioned, hunkered, and scoring a point. Oh, and a final range attack into Chewie. Or is he changing this turret? Oh,
Attacking
okay.
into
on first. Oh.
6 results on there. Has 3 blocks, so 3 go through.
All right, so it looks like 3 only going through. And Han and Chewie are just awoken.
I
So they're
believe
full.
they have. I believe
Yeah.
they just woke up.
Yeah, because Craig Shatterpoint with him.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes you Shatterpoint has support. You need bodies.
I do Shatterpoint my supports a lot more than I think most people do. Like I said, one of my favorite targets to Shatterpoint in some of my games has been the bounty hunters, just because I can move 2 bodies, focus attack, and they both can full tree. So depending on if you focus and or do your focus and attack, and you decide to spend the force to do your business. I forget the name of the ability, but you can basically get a can focus. It gives you sharpshooter 2 or impact 2. So I like using that ability quite a bit. But that's kind of a me thing.
I like Shatterpoint armor.
Murmur.
Yeah, yeah, armor. She benefits from her own jump. And
Yes.
I think it's pretty cool.
All right. A lot of movement happening here. Kind of just a very big positioning battle, trying to sit there and get to those points because they are quite spread out quite a bit. You got the one on the bottom, then the other one like the middle.
Yeah, these Rebel Commandos are spread out.
Yes, they are.
I've never seen Rebel Commandos like this. They weren't present in the movies, I'll tell you that much.
Nope.
No.
And then that top point, I think 2 damage in a pin, 2 shoves. It looks like I think Chopper is good to go on that very top point. It looks like he's underneath that gantry, but within 2 of the top point, which looks like it's.
Yeah, it looks like
that's the priority.
Matt
point,
is
though.
counting it. But the priority is
on
is
the bottom. Yep.
Yeah.
And here comes the second attack. 2 hits off of the expertise.
Nice.
So 5 hits total and into only 1 block. So this is going to go 5? That
Full
will be
tree.
the full tree. That is going to be kind of brutal.
Yeah. Well, Han and Chewie have 8 health left, so perhaps. Oh, yeah.
Does
Okay.
get the wound into Han and Chewie, basically.
Oh, no.
That was... When you full tree, you can do it, but I think because he already had the condition on him from the first attack, so that really was pretty brutal there.
Yeah, it's brutal, but now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
Gain momentum for the wound, and then 1 for mission critical will put Matt at a really good position.
Correct. So, and I think he's only going to be scoring 2 because I don't think anyone's on this priority point at the bottom. Everyone's pretty much off of it. Oh, no, he's going to be able to because now he has his move action.
Well, I think it's the reposition. They get
The
on tree.
reposition from the tree.
Yeah, because he got full tree. He has all that.
So kind of just looking to where he wants to go. Either way, he's going to be within 2 of that point, and no one else is there. So yeah, just repositioning underneath this gantry at the bottom. And then his last action, he's going to go ahead and move. This is going to get him all 4 points.
Ooh, boy.
Or all 3 points, scoring 4 with mission critical.
And a wound.
Yeah, I already got the momentum for the wound here. I mean, this was about the best start Matt could hope for.
Yeah. Oof. Craig's going to have to crawl back from where? He's going to have to tank. Yeah, tank pretty hard.
So, yeah, here we go. Scoring 4. Scoring 4, getting a momentum for mission critical. Yeah,
Yep.
looking pretty rough here.
Oh, boy.
Priority point is going to be the failure, which is the
Failure.
top point underneath that gantry on the left-hand side.
Underneath Chopper.
Yeah.
All right, well, it looks like he pulled. He can't stop shaking it.
Pulls the card, not able to where we can see it.
He is.
Kind of holding it in his hand and
Yeah.
shaking for
I do that a lot, too.
All
It
right.
looks like it's
Looks
Lando.
like it's
though.
Lando, so he's trying to
Oh,
decide
no.
what he wants to do with Lando here.
Yeah, I have those jitters as well when I pull cards where I like have to have it in my hands in order to think.
Yep. All right, so it looks like I got a good coverage on the brush-on primer. I'm just going to allow it to kind of
Let it dry before showing.
let it dry before
Bossk.
it gets before we do anything else.
Are you not going to do Ahsoka?
I'm going to see where I can get with Vader. I don't want to sit there and primer her if I'm not going to be able, especially brush on primer. It's a little funky. It doesn't have the same that I would hope for. So we'll see.
Fair enough. So he's shuffling with Lando.
Shuffling Lando back in, putting another condition on Lando. So Lando now has expose and strain on him.
Uh-oh.
Along with that damage. So looking right now at the results, because we do have a result starting to come in. A couple of people that are 3-0. We have Saracrul, Josh Saracrul, the defending champion Matt Booker
Butcher.
is 3-0 as well. Will Maurer also sitting at 3-0 as our undefeated. So there is a couple more games going on. So there should be, by the time this is all said and done, 3 undefeateds, and we'll get one from this table as well.
All right, well, Chris has not been put in yet, but I'm rooting for that guy.
Yeah, I like us locally. We're trying to be as objective as possible, but with some of our players in here, from our local meta, we have a little bit of a desire to watch them do well. All right, and just kind of figuring out what's going on here.
Well, he's spending 2 force, so leaving, I believe, Craig with just 2. Yeah, his last 2.
Yeah, but I mean, he really has to make a big move here. Second action move. And the reason being is he's got to basically flip 2 points and have them be sticky enough to where you're not going to be able to take them back. And that's really what he's looking at, is how, if he can do that, if he can get to a point where he can take 2, because one's just not going to do it with Mission Critical going on right now. Because he's going to get 1 for Mission Critical. I mean, getting to his side of the board right now is not kind of what he's looking at. Mission Critical is working against him very badly right here. So kind of just looking at what he can do, where he can get on that side of the board. And as you can see down on the dice cam now, he's moved all the way around to the other side of that building. He's kind of blocked by the building from the camera's blocking him, but you can see him on the dice cam, kind of saying hello, looking at the dice.
Oh boy. Where do these Death Troopers want to go? Is he sending one for the bottom
I think
point
he's
and the
sending
other
one to the other where Chopper is. So gonna go ahead and move there.
So he rocket booted, jumped.
Rocket boots moved, or jump boots moved, and now his range attacks are going in. I don't know if he's going to be able to shove Chopper off of that point. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I think he's going to start.
Yeah.
Into the Rebel Commandos.
Start going into the Rebel Commandos is what it looks like here. I'm not sure if that's a cock dice. Reroll that one.
Reroll.
All right.
Still an expertise.
So 1 crit, looks like 2 fails, 2 expertise, and a strike. Basically just turns into 2 more strikes, I believe. No, yeah, you don't have to be objective on your side. I understand that. There is quite a few Samson fans here. I know he's got quite a few friends going on in the area. So some of his friends just kind of showing up and everything like that. So Iceman Dean, who was Matt's opponent in the finals. Yeah, he's down to 2-1 at this point in time, but at the top of the leaderboard, so if he wins, he's going to be in the finals with his match as well.
Yeah, still safely secured.
Yeah, because top 16 makes it in, basically, is what we're looking at here. So, yeah, still quite a few matches to go.
Chris Paul.
Spelled a little different, but yes, Chris Paul is 2-0.
I said it correct.
3 damage in a pin, so not a lot going on there. I think I think we can pretty much safely assume that this is going. Like, I don't see a way out of it with. I don't see him being able to flip enough points at this point in time, unfortunately.
No, and then I think he needed the wound.
He definitely needed the wound. Definitely needed the wound, and it wasn't getting there.
No, not the DT.
I mean, a little bit better of an attack here going into Chopper, but only flipping 1 point is just not going to do it.
No, scoring 2. Only thing Matt has to do is
basically flip
roll priority essentially correctly. You know,
Yeah.
do as exactly as I say. Roll correctly.
All right. So he is going to spend Kallus rerolls here because he does just.
Yay!
So basically, he hurts himself. Kallus rerolls, gets the wound, and basically what that's going to mean is, I think he's trying to stop the shoves more than anything else. But the rerolls just turn into another expertise and a fail. Nothing much there. I think it was just rolling dice for the sake of rolling dice at this point in time.
Perhaps.
Basically, you know. But I mean, this is 3 rounds in. They still have 1 more round.
Yeah, both of these players played very well. They still have a chance to get into top 16, depending on whether the outcome is.
Well, Matt definitely. I think with Matt taking the win here, he's going to be 3-0. As long as he doesn't 0-2 in the next round, he should be good to go into there. I mean, most of the 3-1s get in as it is. For Craig, he's going to have to get a win next round. Like 2-2s just do not, like yesterday 2-2s did not get in. There was a 3-1 that was on the outside looking in for sure. So like really, like, you want to be undefeated going into this last round. Really make sure that it all works out. Gets 1 more for the mission in this 1 point. Basically, yeah, he's already got 2 points. Mission critical is going to do it. That's the game. There's the handshake, folks.
Handshake.
Thank you again for watching this round coverage of Adepticon 2025. We got to see Matt Bronson take that down 2-1 over Craig, going into the final round of the Swiss for all of the World Championships at this point in time. So stay tuned for the final round and continuing coverage from Adepticon. Again, thank you for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.